and through the woods to grandfather's house we go.
Hi, welcome to Super Happy Awesome Movie Time. I'm Drosh.
I'm Jim. Today we're doing things a little bit different today. Thanksgiving movies tend to get kind of a short shrift because it's wedged right in between Halloween and Christmas, which are two holidays that are really great to make movies about. So no one really makes movies about Thanksgiving except for really dysfunctional family movies. But Drosh and I decided that we were just going to dedicate an episode to talking about some of the movies we think about when we think of Thanksgiving.
And this is American Thanksgiving, not that fake Canadian stuff. Actually, I'm sorry, Canada, we love you. You know, we almost have 3 subscribers in Canada.
So, what we've done is we've each picked 3 movies that make us think of Thanksgiving. We're doing this as a list, but it's by no means a top 6 list. We're just doing 3 that I like, 3 that Drosh likes, and we're just going to talk about them for a little bit, and let's get started.
There's a way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifting snow.
Well, first up, Addams Family Values. Now, yeah, it really has nothing to do with Thanksgiving directly, but there is just this wonderful scene in the middle of it, in the middle of summer camp, mind you, where they put on a Thanksgiving pageant. With all the really popular blonde, blue-eyed kids get to be the Pilgrims, and all the rejects get to be the Indians. Pugs in particular gets to be the turkey, and he sings this awesome song called "Eat Me," where it's hilarious. And right in the middle of it, Wednesday and all the unpopular kids just hijack the pageant. Wednesday gives a long speech about the plight of the Native Americans, and she ends it with, "So we've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground." And this is a play, mind you. So,
You know, I didn't go see that.
oh my gosh!
When it was in theaters, I was kind of forced away from it because of the MC Hammer song.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, I mean, it was actually better than the first one. It was one of those instances where a sequel actually surpassed the original. But Addams Family was just so good based on just the strength of all the performances. Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci, Christopher Lloyd, Joan Cusack as the Black Widow woman. So again, not really a Thanksgiving movie, but I like to watch it on Thanksgiving just for that scene alone.
River and through the woods, oh how the wind is blown.
Next up is Alice's Restaurant. Growing up, the local classic rock station would always play the Alice's Restaurant song on Thanksgiving, so I really kind of associated that with Thanksgiving. But the movie, as it includes a Thanksgiving scene, the movie is kind of the story of what happens around the song. Apparently, Arlo Guthrie and the director, Arthur Penn,
the guy who did Bonnie and Clyde,
decided to tell more of the story than what the song does. So it doesn't go in the chronology that the song does, but it's an interesting movie. Things that I really liked in it was, strangely, the cameos. You get to see Pete Seeger and Joni Mitchell in it, performing in a very natural setting, and the actual sheriff who arrested Arlo Guthrie and the judge who judged him play themselves in the movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Arlo Guthrie plays himself as well. And it's really interesting to see these people, and it's a snapshot of the time.
So how would it tie into Thanksgiving? Like, at all, does it?
There is actually a Thanksgiving scene.
Oh, okay.
Where
I haven't seen it in a long time, so
where
I'm
Alice-
not remembering most of it.
where Alice throws the most outstanding Thanksgiving dinner ever, and they have 1,000 people. Okay, maybe it's only like 30.
And bites the noses over the ground we go. Over the river.
Next up, The New World.
Oh, Terrence Malick.
Terrence Malick. Now,
Tree of Life.
we were talking about this earlier today, that you know, when you're a movie buff, one of the things you have to do is you have to worship at the feet of Terrence Malick. I'm not sure I agree. Badlands was really good. Days of Heaven is a masterpiece. Thin Red Line I hated. New World is okay, and Tree of Life I haven't seen, but Drosh did, and we'll find out his opinion at a later episode. But New World is the story of Pocahontas. Yeah, I know. What does Pocahontas have to do with Thanksgiving? Well, really nothing. It does have that sort of feel of the Europeans and the Native Americans getting together for the first time, and how, you know, sometimes it went well, sometimes it didn't go well. Most of the time it didn't. But I would say, if nothing else, this movie is just beautifully shot. I don't even remember where it was filmed, but I can't believe the locations they found for this to make it look like literally what's now Jamestown in Virginia on the coastline. Everyone put in a really good performance in it. Colin Farrell, Christian Bale, Christopher Plummer. It's beautiful. The music is great. I loved how they told the entire story of Pocahontas, not only just in America, but also in England.
Through the woods now grandmother's cap I spy. Hurrah for the fun as the...
Next up we have Pieces of April, starring Katie Holmes, directed by Peter Hedges.
I'm afraid I haven't seen this one. I don't know it.
Okay. So Pieces of April is your typical dysfunctional family Thanksgiving, but what I really like about this is it doesn't happen in the typical New England home with that's very well laid out that so many of these films seem to happen in. Instead, it takes us into an urban environment where Katie Holmes' character, April, is throwing Thanksgiving for her parents. And there's stuff going. She's the black sheep of the family. She's got a boyfriend who has problems. The stove doesn't work. She's got problems with her neighbors. And just everything goes wrong. I've had these Thanksgivings where everything's gone wrong. And it just feels right. It doesn't feel as manufactured as the other dysfunctional family Thanksgivings to me.
And I like the choice of location, because, you know, to watch Thanksgiving movies, you think Thanksgiving only happens in New England.
Yeah, no, they're in a city. I don't know if it's New York. I forget.
Doesn't matter. Still, it's a change, and that's refreshing.
Done, hurrah for the pumpkin pie.
Over the river and through.
Okay, and my last movie on my list is The Ice Storm, a notorious movie by Ang Lee, with just an amazing all-star cast: Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Joan Allen, Katie Holmes, actually.
Katie Holmes and Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood, Tobey Maguire. It takes place in 1973 in New Canaan, Connecticut. This movie is all about infidelity. The centerpiece of it really is this party that everyone's throwing over Thanksgiving weekend. And it's what is notoriously has come into our parlance now. It's called a key party. All the men, you know, husband and wives all come to these parties. All the men put their car keys in a bowl. At the end of the night, each woman picks a set of keys out of the bowl, and then you go home with the man who owns the keys. It doesn't end well, because it's a bad idea. There's also a lot of sexuality going on with the kids. Christina Ricci, I forgot, was another one. Adam's Family Values. We're seeing a lot of the same faces in these movies.
Yeah, weird.
It's very strange. There's a very, very depressing ending, which I'm not going to give away. You'll have to see it for yourself.
Woods and straight to the barnyard gate. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound.
And my last one is a classic. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. This film holds up, surprisingly. Directed by John Hughes, and
who we all grew up on.
because it's such a delightful film. Yes, it's a comedy. Yes, it's a little slapstick at times, but it's just... So the story is Steve Martin's character is trying to get home for Thanksgiving, and he meets John Candy's character, who is also traveling home for Thanksgiving, apparently, and they are both headed, and their paths cross several times until they sort of team up. I don't want to say that much more, but the performances of both of them...
Yeah, just, you know, Steve Martin and John Candy were just two great talents, and it was really cool to have them together on screen, just to watch them play off each other, because they both have just such... They had different comedic styles.
It was really almost like Laurel and Hardy, like the way they played off of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
For this is Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas.
So that's our list. And if you haven't seen any of these 6 movies, or you haven't seen some of them, you may want to check them out. I mean, it might be something good to put on
Yeah, or something.
Thanksgiving Day or
Something
anytime,
different.
really.
Yeah. So that's it from Super Happy Awesome Movie Time. We're wishing all of you a happy Thanksgiving.
Even the Canadians.
Even the Canadians.